IT channel, how's it going? I apologize for the late start today. It's been a long day, and the Wi-Fi was acting all types of weird. So just give it a couple more minutes. See if we're gonna get a few more people on. How's your week been going? That's good. Mine could be better, but you live and you learn. Let's see who else is online right now. All right. All right, we can get started. So, what's going on we're here for another midweek check-in. I'm your humble and gracious host, Davin Jackson, also known as DJax. Today you're not happy. I'm happy now that the day is over, and even though I'm still streaming and I'll probably end up writing stuff later on, I'm in my happy place. So I'm happy now, man. It's been a long day. It's been a real long day, which honestly is perfect for the conversation I want to have today because it actually fits perfectly with my mood and what I want to talk about. So just want to make sure we're all here. Let's see. Says we got some folks on. So just by a quick message in the chat or anything, how many of you are in cybersecurity or in technology or trying to get into cyber technology and cybersecurity? So whether you're in it currently or you're trying to get into the field. Quatre, how's it going? So the question was, how many people are in the field or looking to get in the field, whether it's technology, anything in information technology. It could be sysadmin work, it could be developer, it could be IT support, cybersecurity. How many people are in the field or trying to get into the field? I'm going to assume that most of the people who are here are one of the other, but I just want to kind of get a feel of the room. Okay. All right. I'm gonna need a little bit more participation. But I guess my next question would be, why did you get into this field? Why did you get into technology? Why did you get into cybersecurity? Why did you? What was your driving factor? What was your motivation for getting in this field? Tito in it. Okay. So what drives you to be in this field? What drives you to be good in this field or excel in this field? It can be I'll get to that. Mario, I'll get to that in the Q&A section, but right now I wanted to talk about some other stuff. I understand you want to talk about finding loans and stuff like that, but that the midweek check-in is more for just having a conversation, and then we could talk tech stuff. Don't worry, there's going to be ample time to have conversations about finding vulnerabilities and exploits when I start announcing the next stream. It was what I did while I was in the Air Force, and I developed a love for it. Okay, okay. So what keeps you in it? I mean, you have a love for it. So, what keeps you in it? What does that love keep you going for in the bad days? Does that love keep you going when things don't seem to be going right? No. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support from Germany. How are you guys doing out there? Are you guys doing okay in all this madness? Realizing how much I don't know is what pushes me more. That's fair enough. All right. The reason why I've been asking these questions is because I feel like one of the major things you need to develop when you get into this field, especially in the cybersecurity field, is you develop what I call your why. So it could be your hunger and your passion for learning. It could be money motivated. It could be family. It could be whatever reason you want, but your why has to be a strong why. And why does it have to be a strong why? There comes times in your career when you reach levels of burnout, frustration, depression. Um, some people have a plan how they want to move forward in their career, and the plan doesn't go according to plan, and you have constant setbacks. So when you have those constant setbacks, you'll question yourself. You'll question if you want to continue to be in this field. You'll question if it's worth it. You'll question whatever it is. You'll have questions. You'll have doubts, and your why has to be strong enough to kind of overpower your doubts and get you back on your feet. So look for this real quick. So shout out to Steph Info Steph on Twitter. The funny thing is, as I was coming up with the idea of thinking about this conversation, I saw she had actually tweeted something last night or yesterday about have you ever lost your passion for tech? When, why, and how did you get it back? It's been and she said a lot of conversations have been surrounding this topic lately, and I personally think it's probably because with the working from home, the stress and everything, it's a lot. The stress of the unknown, the stress of the current climate we're in, the working from home, so you're not getting out as much as you can. The ripping and running of trying to get back to normal while trying to stay safe. All of that compounds into it, and then when you work in a field that's stressful, like tech or cybersecurity, all of that stuff can build up on you. So it's easy to lose your passion. PUBG supports, France supports, realizing. Thank you. I appreciate this. I appreciate all the support, man. I appreciate it. So, just to kind of go off of a couple things that I saw, you see that certain people have different reasons, whether it's personal reasons, burnout, the money, depression. Some people take a couple years off. I'm just going to speak personally for me. I've been burned out more times than I could probably count, especially in the last year or so. Um, different setbacks. So whether you failed an exam or you didn't get the promotion, or things that you wanted to do aren't moving how you wanted it to move, and it can get to be challenging at times. But you have to, but that's where that why kicks in. So for me, my why is, um, I have a family to support, and I have a passion for cybersecurity, and I have a passion to also take care of my family. So you take that, my passion for cybersecurity and my passion for basically being a good husband and father, and it'll outweigh, 9 times out of 10 it'll outweigh any issue that I'm having. It'll help me get back up during burnout. It'll help me. That's not toilet paper. That's actually paper towel. um, no, it's, yeah, that's paper. That's all paper towel, man. I had to grab some the other day. I got, like I said, I got small kids in the house, so everything gets cleaned up with paper towels. So it's kind of like I gotta hide it from them, and this was the best place to hide it. Good observation though. But yeah, let's see. So back what I was saying, like I said, especially if you're in cybersecurity, if you're working in it as a profession, and you're doing it as a passion, sometimes the profession out can overtake the passion. Sometimes your work life spills into your personal life, and that can definitely cause issues of burnout. That can definitely cause issues of not feeling like you want to be in this field anymore. And it's hard because, again, case in point, today I had a really rough day. I had a few conversations. I needed to iron a couple things out. I didn't know what my next steps were going to be. I just got into a point where it was just really, frustration had just started to set in, and it's kind of hard to kind of come out of that working, doing all type of compliance things and testing and stuff like that, and then get on here and talk about hacking, or get on here and do a CTF or anything like that. So you have to know how to separate it. So my goal here is to kind of actually teach guys and girls, how to stay motivated in these times. Because like I said, it's trying, and that this definitely plays a factor in everything else. When you're working from home and then turning around and having to do your side projects or your side gigs, and then you're dealing with the stress of being home all day, but then having a stressful day at work. And it's not like back, normal times where if you work in the office, you have a shitty day at work and you go home and you're able to decompress. No, you're still at home, so you're at work. So it kind of deals with everything. Let's see. Hold on. Do you recommend the G Pen? Yep. If you have the money for it, I believe that the G Pen is a good certification. It's a little bit expensive. You can also probably do the Pen Test Plus or the OSCP and probably save a few bucks. But the G Pen is a good one. About Linux and Windows 10, I choose Kali. um, yeah, I mean, it's all whatever. Good father, thank you, man. You got to, man. Teaches kids how to hack. If they want to learn it, I will teach them how to do it the right way, and so they don't get in trouble. They don't get prosecuted, and they can build a career off of it. But part of my goal of working so hard is so that they can make certain choices. They don't need to follow in my footsteps, but I just want them to kind of be successful. Did you teach your kids how to hack? Maybe, maybe not. It's $4,000, good for G Pen or CEH. It's honestly, it's your preference. If you have it, go for it. I know I don't remember what the CEH costs anymore. I know when I did the boot camp, I did a whole boot camp, so it was like a week of training, and then I got the voucher, and that cost me about. Okay, it says the CEH for the exam is $500. Is this current? I don't know. Oh, so it looks like it might be like $600. That's still better than four, five, $6,000 for sans courses. But yeah, like I said, so you have to find your you got to find what drives you, and during those bad days, you gotta let that motivate you to get up. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep going. If you decide that this field isn't the right field for you, then make that decision and determine what your next steps are going to be. But I would always recommend at least have some type of tech background in your back pocket, because there's always money to be made in this field. But if it's not for you, and if it's causing you stress and anxiety and mental health issues, nothing is worth your health. But if you can deal with it and you can find that motivation, then keep going, and you'll find your niche, and you'll become successful. And that's what my goal is here, to kind of help people, help guide them with whatever questions they have or whatever issues they may have, seeing that I've kind of been in a technology related field now for a while. So, these are just certain things that I wish I knew coming up, that maybe would have made it a little easier for me, as opposed to kind of learning by doing. So I just wanted to kind of, check in with everybody, because again, you take this quarantine, that's definitely playing a factor in it. This working from home, and stress levels are high for everybody. Last week I talked about how, you have some employers who are kind of pushing buttons because they feel like they have the leverage right now, because everybody's getting laid off and nobody's really able to find steady work. So it'd kind of be crazy to kind of jump ship in the middle of a pandemic, not knowing what your next step is going to be. Um, and now this week, like I said, it kind of also leads into this, dovetails into this about burnout and stress and everything. So you just gotta, you gotta find your why, and your why's got to be strong. Like I said, if money's a great motivation for you, then keep going, and I hope that you do reach that monetary goal. I would just recommend that there's got to be more to it. So you have some folk here that's talking about their passion for learning. That's a good one. I have my passion for learning. The money isn't bad, and then like I said, but I also have my family. I didn't go the traditional route of college and everything like that, so I stuck to what I was good at and stuck through it until I could make a way for myself to take care of my family. And now what I'm trying to do is help make the path a little straighter for those who are trying to get into this field, so they don't have to keep veering off or making different decisions. I kind of did certain things, so now people who I care about or people who I'm invested in don't have to follow my same footsteps. And that's what my blog is about. That's what this YouTube channel is going to be about now that I started that back up. And that's what any future projects I have coming up. I plan on also doing some coaching. So if you guys are interested, you can reach out to me about doing coaching sessions where I can sit down with you on the phone or online or whatever the case may be, and figure out a certification path for you, figure out what you want to do and how you want to go about it, and if your goal is realistic. I have people all the time who's like, hey, I want to learn how to hack, and I want to be $1 million bug bounty hunter. That was a lot of my conversation last week. And it's like, that's great, but there's still some steps you need to take. It's not just going to be, I'm going to roll out of bed one day and I'm going to become MVH tomorrow. Um, Most valuable hacker. I'm not going to, like I said, if you're really good, you might get lucky and do that. But for most of us, no, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some building up on your skills. It's going to take a lot of practice. It's going to take a lot of submitting duplicate reports or not getting paid. It's going to take a lot of frustration and a lot of frustrating nights. So, these are the expectations that I'm going to try to set in my coaching calls. Like, hey, that's great that you have these goals, and I'm with you 100%, but let's be realistic. Um, sometimes bug bounties people, I mean, I think I don't even remember how many $1 million bug bounty hunters there are now. I think it might be up to like 5 or 6 or so. But everybody else, it's a supplemental income. There are some who, are able to work full time doing bug bounties, but the majority of the bug bounty hunters, this is just side money. Honestly, this is some of the bug bounty money that they get is just to kind of basically support their bug bounty hunting. So to keep paying for different tools or going to different cons or events and stuff like that. But to like live off of, I mean, there's a smaller percentage. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just harder to do. It's kind of like people growing up saying, "Hey, I want to be in the NBA." Yeah, 1% of everybody in the world makes it to the NBA. So set your expectations. Um, and like I said, these are the type of real talk conversations that I really want to have with people, because some people see it as it's it's super easy to get into, and then you have some people who think it might be too hard. I was one of those people, years ago when I first started, thinking I wasn't smart enough to get into it, because only thing I ever heard about was, computer science, and I didn't think I was smart enough to know coding. I was, you know, kid from the hood. It wasn't really um put in front of a lot of computers until I got older, and it was just like, man, I don't think I can do it. And then once I started to do it, I was like, oh damn, I wish I'd have did it sooner. So these are the things I'm trying to do, for varying ages, whether it's kids in high school, college. If you want to do this as a career change, that so be on the lookout for that. I'll be doing an official announcement very soon. I just want to kind of share that with you guys. Create IG page and follow some cyber. They support you. I actually do have I have an Instagram page, so I'll put it in here right here. So that's my Instagram and my Twitter handle. Is life very difficult in the USA? Um, yes, depend. Well, it depends. Speaking from my perspective, how I came up and where I'm at now, yeah, it is difficult. It can be difficult at times. Things get, I mean, I'm sure life happens quickly for lots of people, but there are a lot of obstacles kind of coming up in the United States at times, depending on who you are. And that's kind of, I'm not going to go too much into detail about that, but if you know, you know. So, like I said, I just wanted to kind of give a quick rundown of that, of how I felt about, doing dealing with burnout and dealing with stress. Like I said, it comes at you fast. Sometimes you don't even know you are going through burnout until you're just laying there one day and just kind of confused, like, what the hell did I get myself into? Other times you know when it's coming. Like I said, I think in the last year, I think I've probably been burned out on at least 3 different occasions. Um, and like I said, and they kind of they varied. The first time was really rough. The second time, not so much, but that last one was definitely definitely a lot of work to kind of get back on my feet. You know, for those of you who are in this field, sometimes this field could be real toxic, man, and it can also be really demanding on your personal life. You got to find that balance. You got to find that work life balance. You got to take some time for yourself, especially now that you're working from home. So your work life is your personal life. Your workspace is your personal space. You got to make that time for yourself. Like you just have to. I have good people in my corner who will literally come get me and like pull me away from the laptop, pull me away from the computer, and like, nah, take some time for yourself, go exercise, go do this, because you can get caught up in your work. So you got to make that time for yourself. That's the only way you'll prolong your career. You'll prolong getting burned out, because you will burn out at some point. but it will definitely just, you gotta stay motivated, and you gotta just kind of stay hungry. I hate bug bounty programs. Last time, yeah, yeah, you do all the work finding the bug bounties. Um, you go to report it, and it's like, oh, sorry, this is a duplicate entry, or thank you for your submission. We're not paying you, but hey, we'll give you some stickers. Exploit this vuln. Nicholas, I don't know what vuln you're talking about. What vuln hub machine? If you're talking about vuln hub or vuln DB, I don't know what you're referring to. Like I said, I plan on doing CTF walkthroughs and write ups very soon. Um, so in the meantime, you can like and subscribe and hit the notification so that when I do a CTF, you'll definitely be able to walk through it with me. Also, subscribe to my blog, alphacybersecurity.tech. I have a couple CTF write ups there that'll help maybe, that'll also help you get through it. It might not be the Vuln hub or the Vuln machine that you're looking for, but it might, spark something in your brain to look at something else. The advice I will give you on doing Vuln hub or CTFs or hack the box is make sure you enumerate everything and look at everything. Look at every port, look at every service, look at every version, look at everything. So I have the blog, I have a Facebook page, I have a Twitter page, and I have an Instagram page. So yeah, that's how I kind of get my stuff out there. All right, so if any does anybody else have anything else for me? How are you guys holding up during all of this? Are you guys back at work? Are you essential? Are you coming in and out of the are you in and out there? What are you guys seeing? What or let's see, what are you guys working on? What certifications are you working on? Obviously Nicholas does is working on doing Vuln Hub stuff or CSRF vulnerabilities. So how do I work? Um, like everybody else, I guess. Like I said, right now, I go back and forth. So I do stuff in the office at times, and then I also work from home. Obviously, I've been working from home a lot more now, but I typically start my day early so I can kind of be done with work. Every once in a while, I'll work a few more hours or some overtime, but I usually do start my day early so I can make time for myself later on in the day, take a small break, spend some time with my wife and kids, and then I get to whatever it is I'm working on, whether it's my write ups or my blog posts, or if I'm working on any CTFs or I'm working on anything else like that. So I try to make sure I split my day up. I do during my work day, I break my work day down to like 25 to 30-minute intervals. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Um, let's see, I actually have an article that I wrote about how to kind of maximize your working from home experience as well as things you can do from working from home. So this is the article I wrote about things you can do while working from home, and then here's another one I wrote about how to certain things other side projects or anything you can do, you can work on. Let's see. I test for CEH in 2 weeks. Just passed the CYSA. I'm essential, so I'm in the office. Well, congratulations on passing the CYSA, and good luck for the CEH. I will tell you, you shouldn't have a problem with the CEH. If you pass the CYSA, then you should be fine. I would just say know your ports, know your basic tools like Nmap, Wireshark, um, some bash commands. Like know the basics of pen testing, but you should definitely be fine. Do I have any projects in the future? Yes, I have a lot of stuff coming. Like I said, I plan on doing more YouTube videos, actually streaming more than once a week. Um, Nicholas, if you're still here, I totally plan on doing walkthroughs of Lone Hub machines, try hack me, practical pen test practice. Basically, I'm just trying to get the okay from different platforms that will give me permission to kind of do walkthroughs of their stuff and their sites. So I have that content for you. I'll also probably be doing stuff on Twitch. I'll be trying to get together with other cybersecurity professionals and do interviews for people who are trying to get into the field or looking into the field. I still plan on doing like these weekly checkups where it's just kind of a talk and a Q&A session. And then, like I said, I'm working on coming up with a coaching program, whether it's a one-on-one or a group coaching session. I'll probably do like basic Python and stuff like that. I'm gonna act, and yes, as a part of avoiding burnout, Nicholas, as a part of avoiding burnout, I will definitely do some gaming occasionally. Probably not on YouTube though, just because of the stupid the COPA laws. I don't want to have kids come on the site and then they see or hear something that might not be appropriate for kids, and then next thing you know, I get fined. So if I do any gaming, it'll mainly be on Twitch or Mixer. But for more of this stuff, it'll definitely be on YouTube. So does anybody else have any other questions that does not involve me getting into firing up a VM and starting to do some stuff? Like I said, I am exhausted. I'm sorry that I don't know if you thought that's what I was going to do today, but I'm not doing any hacking. As a matter of fact, I got some writing I got to do. So if does anybody have anything else for me? And by the way, like I said, just check out the blog, man. I got, like I said, I have, let's see. I have stuff on pen testing careers or books you can read. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 vulnerable CTF write-ups. I have 4. Yeah, I have 4 vulnerable CTF write-ups, and then I also have how-to guides on how to set up your pen testing lab, how to secure your Kali Linux machine, some of the most popular tools you'll learn or you'll use in pen testing. So I actually just put the address of my blog site on there. So be sure to check that out. And like I said, I actually plan on, let's see, what was the last? So I did basic pen test 1 and 2, and then I did SICK OS 1.1 and 1.2, and I just finished. I did Stapler, Troll. I think I did Troll 2. I think I did Stapler 2. So I'm just getting the screenshots and stuff like that. So those will be up very soon. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of CTFs, and then like I said, I have another thing that I'm working on as well. That's going to explain more of the web app side. So for those of you who are into bug bounties and web application pen testing and hacking, I'm going to be releasing some stuff really soon on, how to use Burp Suite and the different tools in Burp Suite. And I'm going to go through the different vulnerabilities in the OWASP top 10, as well as the OWASP API top 10. So be on the lookout for that. Do I develop any apps? Nothing that I'm proud to talk about. So there's nothing public. Since I'm getting back into Python, because I'm going to actually be teaching my kids Python, I might develop something with them. So if we really like it, after that, we might announce it or put it out. Is Kali live mode very bad? It's just your preference. I mean, you can have a live USB boot of Kali Linux. I just I prefer to have a VM or like a cloud machine where I can access it from anywhere with all my tools ready to go. Um, Usually with like a live boot, most of that stuff doesn't really stay installed. So it's just your preference. I have a live boot USB, so if I go anywhere, like if I'm on an engagement and I just plug it in and I'm ready to go. Um, but like I said, it's just really your preference. All right, we got any more questions? Again, I really appreciate the love, people. Just be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Like I said, I plan on doing these midweek check-ins at least for the foreseeable future while we're still going through this. Because again, I want this to kind of be a getaway for folks. Come chit chat, talk, and then like I said, we'll cover different topics and just kind of just chat for a little bit. So if we don't have anything else, ladies and gentlemen, again, like, subscribe, hit the notification, follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter. Um, Subscribe to the blog. Matter of fact, May's newsletter should be out this weekend. Um, where I end up with, subscribe to the newsletter so you'll get notifications of new articles as they post or new videos as they come out. I thank you for, rocking out with me for what is it, about an hour or so. I appreciate it. I will be on next week. Nicholas, make sure you fact center. I don't think there's any ladies here. They may not be on YouTube, but I'm also streaming on multiple platforms. So there are a couple, and if they are, thank you for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to everything. Like I said, I'll come out with a formal announcement on coaching stuff soon. But I appreciate it, and I will check in with you guys next week. All right, you guys take care of yourselves. Be safe. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. You guys take care.